Hey there, Tracy here. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make these easy paper doilies with minimal supplies. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, so I have here some doily dies, and they come from various places. You can find them all over the internet. Everybody makes them, so pick some and get them. You can get some that are fairly inexpensive. Dress My Craft has some. Almost everybody does. And I'm going to be using some Distress Spray Stain, some re-inker, and just some regular ink to color these. I've got El Cheapo coffee filters. You can go to the Dollar Tree and get them. And I'm going to show you this little faux pas right here because it doesn't work. But I thought I'd try it, and I thought I'd just go ahead and leave it in. So I'm going to grab about 3 of these. I'm going to fold them in half. They're really thin. Yeah, let's just do 3. I'm going to fold these in half. And I'm going to lay a couple of my doily dies on there. So I'm going to lay my Tim Holtz one. And then I'm going to lay my I don't remember where I got it one. I have several like that. Same with my snowflakes because I just kind of put them all together. And so this does not cut all the way through, and I don't want to do it if I can't cut 6 layers. But here's me testing it. So I'll put that through. So I had a live, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago, one of my Friday morning lives with Dawn where I did the doilies. And yeah, this thing's just moving all over the place and driving me nuts. Let me see here. Let me try it from here. And it's very, very tight. But it still doesn't cut all the way through. But I couldn't really find it, and I've recently done a video where I use one of these doilies, so I wanted to be able to have somebody refer back to this video or a video on how to make your own. And see, this just didn't cut worth a squat. So I'm just going to pull this apart here. Had I not done so many filters, I'm sure it would have cut just fine. But these are, it's super thin. It's, it's almost as thin as tissue paper. And this one didn't cut all the way through either. So I'm going to go to my tried and true. And if you don't already have something, you could probably try shims or go back and forth. But I just use my precision chrome plate with my Vagabond. So let me just get out my chrome plate here. And there's my chrome plate. There's my phone. And I'm going to lay this on my chrome plate and go cut it out. Let me just trim off this excess here, so maybe I can do 2 at one time. I don't want to rip it, but I don't want to waste it either. And I realize that there's some waste here anyway, but it's no big deal. I'll just cut that off and lay this on my precision chrome plate. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to grab 3 more filters. And I'm going to fold them in half. And you can do this on tea bag paper too, but this is the cheapest way to do it. So tea bag paper is not that cheap really. So I'll go ahead and lay this on here and make sure I've got good coverage. Because this is good doily, and this is probably, other than my Eileen Hull one, this is probably the only one I know where I got it. Because I keep it in its packaging. Most stuff, though, I don't. My snowflakes, I have tons of snowflakes. No idea where they came from. Everywhere, I guess. Just everywhere. And so I'm off on the other side of the room cutting this out. And for whatever reason, I could have sworn that I cut this part of the video out, but apparently I didn't. So while I'm waiting for myself, why don't I explain why would I want to even make these? Well, I like to decorate my cards and my journals with doilies sometimes. And so I'm just throwing the doily down. And it's popping right out of the die. And some of the pieces pop out and some of them don't. And you don't even worry about it because they will pop out in the next steps. So I like to use them to decorate cards. I like to use them to decorate my journal. Even I could use them for a pretty cupcake if I wanted to. And I like to have them colored. So you can buy pre-made doilies, and I have some that I dyed as well, but they have like a plastic coating on them. And so they don't dye as well. And see how easy it is to just thump these out. And look at all the confetti I have. I'm not worried about that because I can take that whole mat off and shake it off. So I want to color this set, and I want to color them. I need some that are kind of an aqua color because it's aqua time of year, you know, mermaids and oceans and summers. So I'm going to use one of my little scrapbook.com trays, and I'm just going to spray it down with water. I'm going to throw in my doilies and spray some more water on them. And then I'm just going to put a couple of drops of this new Simon Hurley High Tide. And then I'm just going to water that down really well. And then I'll flip them back and forth until they're fairly evenly coated. And it won't take long. And you can get them as wet as you want. They're coffee filters. So the paper's not going to warp or get weird or anything like that. It's just going to stay paper. But it is, you know, delicate once you get, you know, all those small pieces cut out. And that's exactly what I want. So this is the result I want. And I'm going to grab my rag, I think. I'm just going to lay them on the rag just for a second to kind of soak up some of that fluid and just start to dry them. And then I'll take them off the rag because I don't want my rag to get melty. And it smells like fabric softener. Somebody gave me these rags. And now I'm smelling almost like a man cologne, you know, like Axe or something. I don't know. Now I'm not particularly thrilled with that scent. So let's move that out of there. And you just dry this. You just want to make sure you move your heat tool around so you don't burn it, because they will burn. And I just flip it back and forth. And I keep drying it until the edges start to come apart, and that's when you can start to peel them apart, and then they dry really, really quickly, all on their own. So I'm going to flip it over one more time here, and I can see where my edges are starting to lift, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. So I'll just move my heat tool around the edges to kind of get them to lift. And you'll see how much lighter that gets after you dry it. Okay, we're good. Now we'll take these apart. And now I've got myself 6 little doilies. Now they're not perfectly colored. You could perfectly color them with sprays and color them individually if you wanted to, but I don't mind the sort of, you know, dyed rustic look. You just take them apart and notice all the little pieces fall right out of them. So I know there's one more there. I just have to find an open edge. And I know there's one here somewhere. Where are you? There you are. And then I just use my little precision tweezers to grab it and pull them apart. So now I've got myself 6 kind of turquoise colored doilies. I'll move those aside and we'll do the next one. We'll do that one with spray stain. So I just wanted to show you too that there are several ways that you can color these, or leave them white if you want. It's no big deal either way. So those aren't coming out very easily with this, but they will, you watch. So I'm going to go ahead and clean my tray out here with my rag. And I see I've got a little hair in the corner. A little tiny bit in there doesn't bother me. So I'm going to get these nice and wet again. And then I'm going to coat them with the Victorian Velvet spray stain. And I know it looks really dark, but trust me, it lightens up. So I'm just going to kind of flip them back and forth and add water until I know that they're all 6 are evenly coated. And they won't, you know, the center ones will be a little bit lighter. So you get a nice variety of color too. And I'm just going to keep moving this around in here until it soaks up all that dye and water. Okay, and then I'll just kind of drip it off. Move that aside. I'll grab my rag again. I'm going to lay it down on my rag, and then I'm going to take the other side of my rag, and I'm just going to kind of blot it so it helps it get dry quicker. And you can see it's already lightened up some. Then I'll pull this off and dry it with my heat tool. And you can see already some of the little pieces have come out, and they'll start coming out as this dries and you pull them apart. So that's really handy that you don't have to, you know, push every individual one out like you do with paper. So you just take your time, blow it around, flip it over, flip it back and forth. You can spend half a day doing this because it's fun. And especially if you have a whole lot of doily dies. And, you know, if you like using doilies, of course, maybe you don't. And that's okay. I still love you. So notice I'm trying to get the edges mostly in it. Then the more the drier it gets, the lighter it gets. And if you wanted to lighten it more, you could add water and even water it down more. But I'm good with the color here. It's kind of a rose color. And you can see here where it's kind of changing color, so I'm kind of burning it a little bit, which I don't intend to do. I'm just not paying attention. So pay attention when you're drying this. And I like using this heat tool. You can see that this heat tool is well loved. Versus my little heat-it tool, and that's mostly because my heat-it tool doesn't really work right anymore. It like slows down, speeds up, slows down, speeds up. Mike says it's probably full of glitter, and he's probably right. Glitter and paper dust and all the things. So one of these days I'll take it apart and clean it, and hopefully it'll stop acting weird. So I've got it as dry as I feel like I need to get it, and here we go. So we've got the first one, and there's literally no paper left stuck in it. And the second one is lighter. Beautiful color. There's a couple of pieces stuck in there. I would probably just leave them, considering for the most part the doilies don't stand alone. They're usually an element behind something else. Okay, and here's the last one, or the third one. And they look like real doilies, except they don't have the plastic coating. And I love how when you pull them apart, all those little pieces just pop out. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means I've got 2 more here. See if I can find an open edge. Here we go. Come on, baby. Come apart for me. There we go. Oops, I just set that other one in some wet. I didn't notice. That's okay. And you can kind of thump and tap those excess pieces out, or set it aside and do it later when you know you're going to work with it. And oops, got that one wet. Didn't mean to. It's okay. It's going to make it a cool color. I'll just set it aside and let it dry by itself over there. Then I'm going to clean out my tray, and I'm done using my tray for now. But I'm still going to clean it out, otherwise I'm going to spill that stuff everywhere. I don't typically use fabric softener on my ink rags because A, the smell gets too much, and B, I feel like the fabric softener makes them less absorbent. I could be wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and take this scrap piece and cut it out. We'll do one more coloring using just ink. So again, I've taken it over to my Vagabond that has the chrome precision plate. So I know that those are only made for Vagabonds and big shots, and you can use them in your switch. I can't answer for the Spellbinders machines or any other machines, just the Sizzix ones. So I've got those done, and look at this fun mess. You should see my floor right now because I've cleaned it up off of this mat. And I just picked it up and shook it all over the floor, and there's just little soft confetti everywhere. So if you were to do this like on a piece of, say for instance, paper bag paper or something, you could collect up all the confetti. So I'm going to grab one of my little mats here that I made, and I'm going to grab my antique linen ink, and I'm just going to smush that ink down really well. Quite a bit of it. It's hard to see because it's such a light color, but it's there. You'll see when I dip my doilies in. And I'm going to get a lot of water on it. And I'm just going to toss my doilies in there and just kind of tap them in. And then I'll flip them over, rub them around, get a little more water on them. Tap them in, soak up all that color. I love especially these color because it makes them look vintage. I'm just kind of rubbing it back and forth in there, and if you need more color on there, just dry it off first and lay a little bit more color down and a little bit more water. So let's go. And I've done these with sparkly, like the Tim Holtz mica stains and stuff, and they're so pretty. So, yep, I'm liking the color that I've got going on that. And it will lighten up once I dry it, remember. And I'm just going to take a paper towel now and just kind of blot it. It just helps it dry faster. Check the other side, looking good. And I'll take my heat tool and I'll go ahead and heat that up. And I do want to be real careful with that because you know, if it does burn, it's going to really show as a burn. It just depends on what color you colored them. Sometimes it shows as a burn, sometimes not. And it might be okay even if it does, if, you know, you're going for that super grungy look. I think this is probably my favorite doily die, although I have the big Eileen Hull one, which I really love a lot too. But it's big, and I don't typically use the doilies that I've made from it. And I've made quite a few. But I tend to use these smaller ones in my junk journals and card making and things like that. So just working on getting this dry and watching those edges. When it starts to blow away from you, it's getting dry. It doesn't really take that long. And see, so I didn't get a super deep color out of this, and that's exactly what I wanted, just a subtle tint to it. Okay, we've got that piece off. If you wait long enough, they'll all just kind of blow off. And so you want to stop at that point, and then we'll go ahead and just pull these all apart. Come here, you. There's the back one. And you're going to get varying shades. So this one needs a little bit more drying. Not a bunch, just a little bit. I can tell because it won't pull apart easily. And the little pieces aren't coming out. So it's dry. When it's dry, those little pieces will come out. So there's another. I should have 6 here. And I'm set and good to go. And you can still thump the excess pieces out. They come out really easy. Let's see if I can find an edge here to get this one apart. There we go. All right, so that's it. I just wanted to share with you how I make these so you don't have to go hunting down my long live video doing it, which I will link down below. And I'll link the doilies that I do have information on. It's just not these. I'm just looking for something to put them on so they're not sitting on such a distracting surface. So there they are against white. And here are our Victorian velvet ones. And then finally, we've got our little aqua colored ones. Fun stuff, fun stuff. So, if you're bored, you have no inspiration, you don't know what else to do, make some doilies. Using distress sprays, anything you have to color with them. I've used liquid watercolor, I've used my shaker things, I've used everything. If you like this video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. Take care, bye-bye.